So what am I getting at, Sam? What am I getting at befriending, Sam? Fuck. There's a lot of shit.
That most men live lives of quiet desperation. It's one of my favorite quotes ever because it's true. You're just in this world where you just can't wait to just run away. But I think one of the reasons why these people have this deep-seated anger and resentment is there's a bunch of people out there that have these lives that are deeply unsatisfying. Because I think there are so many people that are working all day long doing something that is deeply unsatisfying and almost painful.
Yeah, soul killing.
Soul killing.
Yeah.
They're stuck in traffic all day, and then they're stuck in a cubicle after that. They relish the time to take a shit in the bathroom and look at their phone. I mean, they literally do that. That's a highlight of someone's day. They get in traffic on the way home. They get home after that, they're watching television, and they're f***ed. If people have a regular day job, if you could just find some one thing that you do as a passion project and just keep building on it, just keep watering it, keep adding fertilizer, keep giving it attention, keep giving it focus, and you can escape. You can escape, and you can be self-serving. You could be okay. You're gonna be okay. Making furniture feels good. If you make furniture for a living, and you feel a great satisfaction out of that, and you sell that furniture. Look, man, if you can do that, you could cut those corners perfectly and sand everything down nice and stain it, and then it's done, and you get the satisfaction, and you sell it to someone, and that pays your bills. That is infinitely more satisfying than being stuck in some fucking cubicle working for someone that you don't want to work for, having to have these stupid fucking office meetings, talking to people in human resources, sitting down with your supervisor where they evaluate your job performance, and you're not really, you really need to be enthusiastic about this company. This company is your future. This kind of like, you're like, fuck, kill me now. There's a lot of people out there that would way rather do something else, and I hope they understand that they can. And people that are trapped in bad situations, one of the problems is you feel like this is your future. You feel like you're fucked and you can't get out of that. There's no hope. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's no rainbow. And if you feel like that, that alone can be incredibly defining and limiting. But if you can look at yourself objectively and say, okay, I kind of am fucked here. I'm in credit card debt. I'm working in a shitty job. I don't like what I'm doing, but I have some ideas. I need to feed those fucking ideas. And I need to feed them and water them, and I need to set aside a certain amount of time every day to just try to make those things happen. You can do that. Everyone has a different personality. They have different interests, different things that they would be really satisfied pursuing. That's not encouraged. What's encouraged is go find a job. What's encouraged is go find some place that you can shove yourself into. Go find a square hole that you can stick your round peg and just fucking jam it in there and shave down the top and the bottom so you slide in with all this extra space on the sides and feel like shit for the rest of your life, because you need a job, because you're in debt, because you have credit cards, because you have student loans, because that's what everybody does. And so you do it too. That's what's wrong. You have an apartment you have to pay for. You have a car you leased. You have a wife that you have to feed. You have a child you have to raise. You have your mortgage. You have your this. You have your that. And that's where it all comes from. Well, the opportunity takes place usually when you're young and you don't have any responsibility. That's when you have your options. Well, your options are severely limited the more you gather responsibilities. Like, if I had to, as a 51-year-old father of 3, married man, pays taxes, has a house and a mortgage and a business and all that jazz. If I had to quit everything now and struggle the way I struggled as a stand-up comedian, it would never work. But the only way I could be this person now is if I took that chance when I was 21, when I was dead broke and had my cars repossessed and all that stuff. That's the only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. And most people want to take the safe path. And the safe path leaves you stuck in quiet desperation. Almost every time. It's hell. It's hell.
But can people just make that change? I mean,
yes,
look,
you can,
I believe they
but
can.
you have to plan it out. The way you can change is you have to put aside enough money to give yourself a window. and then you have to have a plan, and you have to spend all your waking hours outside of whatever shit job you do planning your escape. And you have to come to the realization very clearly that you f***ed up and you got yourself stuck. So whatever you're doing, you have to do it like your life depends on it. And whether it is you're trying to be an author, and if you're gonna try to be an author and you're working 8 hours a day plus commuting plus family responsibilities or whatever else you have, whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. That 1.5 hours a day that you have to write, god damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You got to go. You got to get after it, and you got to have discipline. Most people don't have those things. Most people don't understand what it's like to really go for something, and to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific. I think here's an important thing too. Failure is important.
It is important.
I think failure teaches you things that you don't learn from success. I think failure gives you an opportunity for self-examination, and also gives you a feeling that is very uncomfortable. And that very uncomfortable feeling helps you grow. That when you feel like you screw something up, like when I've had bad podcasts, my podcast has always gotten better afterwards. When I've had bad stand-up sets, I've always gotten better after that, because those bad sets motivate you. They give you a perspective like, hey, here's some clear examples of where you f***ed up.
Yeah, what not to do.
Yeah, don't look at these failures as like proof that you suck. Look at them as opportunities for growth. Look at them as opportunities to be motivated to do better. You have to make mistakes. You've been there, you feel it, you understand what it is, and then you have that time to adjust. That's why losing in life is so important. Whether it's getting dumped, getting fired, losing a game, loss. Those feelings where things didn't work out your way, that's important, because it lets you know this is the bad feeling that comes when it goes wrong, and you improve, and then it makes the good feelings of victory all the better. And I mean that, in a relative sense, like even getting good at something. Forget about victory, like making a terrible book that gets rejected by every publisher, and then writing a really good one and people accept it, and you're like, fuck, I got better. Yes, like that's feeling.
Interesting, yeah.
Those feelings of failure are really critical for your motivation. You see an old person walking down the street, you go, oh, that person's always been an old person. No, that was a baby. That was a baby that became a 90-year-old man. There's a progression that you're not witness to. You don't see it. And that takes place in everything. It takes place in authors. It takes place in comedians and musicians. There is a starting point, and then with time and focus, and as long as you reevaluate and reassess and constantly objectively look at what you're doing and then pursue it with passion and focus, you get better at things. Don't be scared of failure. I think failure is awesome for you.
That I could benefit from my relationship with her, I should say. Number one is a she. I've lost my my social skills, my connection to the she, for sure. I don't know what happened and where it went. Probably because my female relationships over the last 10 years were transactional, right? If they weren't transactional, it was just like, you, come here, so it was that kind of a thing, right? It wasn't anything there was no courtship involved at all. And it was that lifestyle. So, what else is she gonna offer me? It's definitely not because I'm alone. I'm not lonely. It's not that at all. I don't need the attention, I don't need the affection. Well, from a human maybe, but not really from an animal. It's cute, how she shows it, but in a weird sense, I want to it's been a long fucking time since I've had to care for a woman, look after a woman, worry about something, be responsible for something, in that matter. I want to be responsible for shit, except for myself. Why? Fuck, there's There's a lot of reasons. There's a fucking lot of reasons. Mainly, it's just not fucking worth it. You put all your time and energy into someone. See, it's not that I don't. I've really forgotten how to do that, to be honest with you. You know, I don't know. I don't even remember what it feels like to be responsible for someone, cares for someone, to worry about someone. Whenever I do now, it sends me into this manic frenzy. You know, it's so unfamiliar. So Sam's going to be a great way to deal with unpleasant feelings, worrying about her, taking care of her, where she doesn't come home, worrying, having those kinds of thoughts. I'm not looking forward to it. However, the end goal is to have a balance, right? I want to be able to care for something, but and handle that and have an emotional balance, caring for something, but also be able to have a balance in the bad feelings as well, and not be able to get overwhelmed, right? You know, and that's it. You know, it's easy. I can shut my emotions off very easily and just like be a cold motherfucker. You know, I can be the coldest son of a bitch in the world. That's not a problem. The problem is that I don't want to fall into that trap of always being that way. I experienced that for a while. You know, it's interesting when you have a part of your life where you show no mercy, and it's an interesting feeling. It's definitely a safe feeling, let me tell you that, right fucking now. I totally get it. I totally get it. But hopefully Sam, through her lifespan, I'll get great benefit out of balancing and controlling my emotions when it comes to that. You know, caring for animal, woman, on that love level, right? I don't have a problem with emotion dealing with anything on the outside world. Even with myself. It's just I have a real fucking problem with emotion love. I definitely lost my way or some skills surrounding that emotion. I've talked about pets and spouses suffering and dying. You know, that all contributed to it. And then that whole last 8 years of being alone, living a different lifestyle, let's say, I've forgotten a lot of that stuff, you know. And it's not going to be easy. I know there's going to be nights where I won't be able to sleep. I'll be wearing a border, you know. Winter's approaching. You know, my mind's already going on what to do. I have some kind of manic ideas what I want to do for her. I'm going to talk to my landlord. He's pretty handy. I'm going to ask him if we can do a little bit of remodeling to the cabin. But I'll see how he feels about it. You know, he likes me having the cat around. He likes the fact that I take care of her because I guess it gets rid of the rodents, and he's right. I haven't seen a chipmunk, I haven't seen a snake, I haven't seen a mouse, I haven't seen shit around here. You know, so she's pretty handy to have around. I don't think, I don't believe I'll take the step of actually having her living with me in the house. I mean, full time. Because to be honest, cats kind of creep me out. You know, well, it's not that it creeped me out. It's just been alone a long time, man. I don't know if I could sleep with having something wander around the goddamn house. You know, you guys all seen that video when there was a mouse in the house, and I knew it was fucking running around in the cupboards and the shelves. Fucking lost my mind. I couldn't fucking sleep knowing that thing was running around. Not that I was afraid of it. It just, I don't know. It was just an uncomfortable feeling. So, and I don't want Sam fucking crawling into bed with me and making noise and shit. My dog used to do that. Used to annoy the fucking shit out of me. You know, but I don't know. And it's not that I don't think of anyone else except for myself in my life. I think about a lot of people. But directly in my space all the time is definitely a different thing. And it definitely comes with a different set of emotions. You know? Yeah, it'd be real easy to go through the rest of my life just doing what I'm doing. You know, I have total total control. Maybe that's too much strong word, but my um, bipolar doesn't affect my life in a negative way at all, except in that area. And I can go through life just fine, fulfilled, without loving anything. I can do that. I have no problem with that. I've already sat down and faced the fact that that might be possible. But the thought, just the thought of meeting that one in a million, you know, that's that's one thing I don't want to regret letting go of. Thinking to myself, you know, you had the opportunity and the time to work on yourself, and you didn't, and you let her walk away, you know, or whatever. So it's important that I resolve a lot of these issues. You know, but even when I'm retired too, you know, I love fucking dogs. I'll be honest with you, I love fucking dogs. You know, when I know that I'm really settled and really my boots are really put in the ground, I will definitely get a fucking dog. You know, and the experience I'm going to share with Sam is definitely going to help in that future relationship down the line for sure. Also, too, you know, I was just tired of being a fucking leader. You know, just want to kind of sit back. You know, I actually, you know, I think that may have been one problem in my last relationship is because the demand in my life was so great previous to her, within the relationship and with my job, that everything was just on me all the time. There was no break, and I think going into that second relationship, you know, even though the pressures, I'm not supposed to say pressures, and wouldn't consider my job pressure, was just what I needed to do there didn't subside. You know, it actually rose exponentially. I didn't really have to I didn't have the stress of the relationship, the responsibility, the breadwinner of the soul, take care of everything. So it was something definitely she offered me, was a kind of a relaxed thing, right? But did it backfire? I mean, you know, well, you know what? If she didn't offer me that, I probably wouldn't have stayed around, right? It's like, you know, I'm not going from one circus to another. I don't give a fuck how much I love you, right? No, she offered me a lot of consistency, you know, especially with her behavior. You know, she was very, and that's what I needed at that time, for sure. So with Sam, even though they say cats are very unpredictable and you know they don't listen and do nothing, I find Sam not like that at all. Um, she's very responsive. Um, she's predictable so far. Um, you know, I did a little bit of research on cats' behavior. Seems like Sam's really taken to me, according to what I've written. Um, um, I haven't picked her up yet. I don't plan to. You know, I'm gonna give her that kind of a. We're gonna have a couple of boundaries for sure. You know, I don't want to give Sam an excuse to push me away. You know, that's what I'm, you know, because if you know, she's a barn cat too, so there's a little bit of wildness to her. So I don't want to put her in a position where she's going to do something by mistake, whether scratch me or bite me. You know, and I don't want her that to be a rift between us. So I'll keep her close to the heart, but still have that small boundary there. Not as on a boundary of emotion, but just a boundary of I don't want to put her in a position where I'm going to feel negative towards her. So, oh, but she's been great though. Like when I'm walking around the parking lot of the yard, or when I get home, she has a tendency to run in front of me, cut me off. My dog used to do that. Not as forceful as Sam does, but um, that's starting to subside. She's starting to walk beside me now, which is pretty cool. You know, I don't know if that was a dominance thing or what's up with that, but um, no, she's been great. She's been great. I like the fact that um, she's very um, like we seem to have a routine established here. You know, so it's very comfortable. It's familiar. At first, it was really fucking hard because I wasn't used to cats and shit, so I didn't know. It was really freaking me out, you know. But no, it's good. I don't ask too many demands of her. You know, like come here and this and that. Like usually, whenever if I say goodnight, come here, let me kiss goodnight. She's good with that. But there's none of this. Oh, come here, Sam, come lay on my lap. You know, it's none of that kind of shit. I tried asking her to come for a walk around the property. I thought that'd be pretty cool. I thought she would because she follows me all around the gravel part of the property. She'll follow me around all over the place. But when it comes to the grass and the property over here, she won't follow me, which kind of surprised me. But I think it was because of when I asked her to join me for the walk. It was like her routine is she'll eat, she'll do the go around my legs, rub her hand, push her hand on my hand. She'll rub up against here, the poles, and once she's got her fill of that, she'll lay down here and clean herself up. And it was during that part where I asked her to go for a walk. So I think, you know, according to what my research saying, you know, the fact that she's doing that in front of me is like a admiration thing, you know. Thank you for meeting me. Thank you for taking care of me. So I'm gonna look pretty for you, type thing. Not too different from a human woman, right? Sam. Shit, man, that's like fucking what? She should be around. Sam. Well, this is a first. This is a first. Not too worried quite yet. If she doesn't show up tonight, I'll be worried. But then again, we got this new schedule happening where I'm going to the gym at 2 in the morning. So I'm feeding her. I've been feeding her before we go to the gym. And then before we go to work. So she might not be, yeah, but this is her time for attention and treats, so maybe that's throwing her off. Maybe that's throwing her off. Oh, we'll give her some more time. Lost all my COVID fat. Well, I was saying, you know, I was keeping my weight extra heavy because I was using my body weight for exercises, right? So, yeah, we trimmed off like, probably 8 to 10 pounds of fat in the last couple of weeks. So like 255, 258, somewhere in there. Oh, what else I can say about Sam? We definitely have things in common for sure. You know, but everyone has shit like that. Attachment issues, abandonment issues, loss issues. Everyone's got that shit, so, you know, that's not really, It's funny, though, how I never developed trust issues. It's just strange, considering. Well, probably because I understand why people do the things that they do, right? Not everyone can handle certain pressures. Still contemplating whether to take her to the vet or not. I know I have a buddy, grew up on a farm. He had barn cats, grew up with barn cats. I know there's no fucking way he would have taken a barn cat to the fucking vet. I remember when I was looking after his farm once. His parents went on vacation. This is a long fucking time ago. was sleeping there, and I had to feed all the animals at night. And one of the animals I had to feed was a barn cat. And I just laid out a can of this wet cat food for it, and that was it. And his garages, his barns weren't heated. To my knowledge, they weren't heated. You know, so the barn cat found warmth somehow. So, but I'm pretty sure the barn next door is heated. So, but I have a better idea. Well, like I said, we'll see how my boss feels about doing some renovations on my cabin here. Well, Sam, I'm getting hungry. Sam! Come on, I'm getting hungry. Fuck. Yeah, if he gets sick or if he gets hurt, that'll fucking be tough. There's no way I won't not do something about that. So, unless we're thinking about someone else comes into play now, right? So I have to start putting money aside for Sam. You know, she looks pretty healthy, but the thought of seeing her injured or fucked up and not doing anything about it, or thinking I could have done something about it, I chose not to for whatever reasons. So as long as I can prepare for that the best I can, I shouldn't feel like a bag of shit. Well, I'm gonna get my fucking food. hard to believe, eh? Been eating this shit, what, 2 years now? And it still tastes great. So we figured out Sam's diet. Milk, tuna, a little bit of kibble, and those temptation things. She'll eat chicken, but she's not real big on it. Hard-boiled eggs, no. Raw eggs, she licks it. She eats the yolk, but what I give her now, she really likes. Next grocery, I'll get her some of that sockeye salmon, get her the good stuff. Get a couple cans of that with the tuna. She loves those temptation things, though. Holy fuck. My friend gave me a great big bag of it, and we went through that pretty quick. I know I'm only supposed to give her like 10, 15, but I feel like a half a bowl. Nothing wrong with spoiling your lady, right?
I know you think there's something wrong with me. You gotta listen to my